This is a piece of 1 inch water line, and it doesn't look like it, but the outside measurement is 15 foot 9 inches. Now that's plenty to do what I'm going to do, and that's making a canopy so I can get to the deer blind in the pouring rain, so I'm not stuck at deer camp. You can see how thick that is. I'm going to sturdy it up a little bit. Try not to go anywhere, because I don't really have a lot of time before it starts raining in the morning. I want to make sure that this is going to go in straight in relation to how it's going to rest. But once you have it drilled, you put a washer on here. Then you put the other washer on here that's a little bit bigger. And we're just going to go back through this. Pull that real tight. Put that washer on there. Since I have a lock washer, I'll go ahead and put that on. Next, I'll tie this around the four-wheeler rack frame. Now that I have this resting on here, it looks like I can cut 4 foot off, and I went ahead and marked that. That will leave an 11 foot 9 inch piece. So I'll go ahead and cut this, and this will leave a 4 foot piece for a roof, which is perfect because that's about the width from rear fender to rear fender. So when I put this back here, that'll give me plenty of room. See, it can't go through there. It can go through this one. So we're going to fold our paracord in half. And this will go through there like so. And then we're just going to take it back through here. Going to feed it through this hole. Put our washer on. Now I'll do the rear side. That's my 18-inch mark from the end. It's taped all the way down the edge of it. The bolts were too short to go through the top, which ended up being just fine. But what you want to do is you want to lean this thing, at least your first and your second one. Now we'll connect these two pieces to the top. This is a little bit floppy, so I'm going to take this off. I came up with another idea. From one side of the four-wheeler rack to the other. Sure we're perfect as we can be. And the overhang for the fender is 2 inches. I'm just going to use some old deck boards. I've already cut these. And these are 4 foot. Got everything squared up here. Right in the center. Let's make sure this will fit the way it needs to. Pretty awesome. Now we just need to drill 3 more. Almost run out of battery power. I did run out of battery power, it looks like. Still got it. This is an 8-inch piece. And the only reason it's an 8-inch piece is because I had a 16-inch board. These other 2 pieces that I'm going to use on the other board for the front, these are 6 inches. It gives me plenty of room to drill a 1-inch hole here, and also have enough room to pre-drill here and get these screws in here without splitting this. I have this board already centered, but I'm going to have a better result by centering it here. And what this will end up being is 1 1/8 to 1 1/16. Now for the other side of this board. Well, I guess it got a little hot. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these. I'm going to replace that hickory with a piece of PVC that I found. I think it will last longer than the wood, and it will maybe provide a little bit more dexterity. I've marked this one at 6, 12, 18, and 24 inches. I'll go ahead and take this one off. Get started on the first one. That'll give me some more room. have these 4 pieces cut. Now I'll go ahead and put this one up in there. You take a piece of Gorilla Tape, and that will hold that in place. This black tubing has already been pre-drilled before. Shouldn't be too difficult. If you're looking at the rear of the four-wheeler, this is how that 5-inch mark is lined up. Same with the other side. I'm also marking where I'm putting a couple of zip ties to keep this stable. Went ahead and put the heavy-duty zip ties in there. And I've also done that on the back. Now I can just raise this up and pull the tubing through here. Next, I'll go ahead and push this through here. Just want to, should wiggle through there. You might have to take the tape off, you might not. And I'll slide this up. Now for this side over here. And this is the last one. I'm putting a stabilizer washer on there. Then the nut that fits it. Now since the bolt is lined up parallel with the four-wheeler, we're going to go ahead and put the other bolt in the opposite direction. And if I drill it down right next to the wood, the bolt head is going to cause too much of an issue. You can see the gap here. So what I'm going to do is just hold the screwdriver like so. Pretty tight there. I'll do the same for the back too and the other side over here. I have some extra tubing, so I went ahead and drilled on the underside. I'm going to add a couple more braces that are going to be 18 inches on each side from the top, and there's already 2 up here. So this thing is starting to take shape, and this is easier to move around now that I have the bottom braces on. I went ahead and added another place to put a zip tie. That way this will hold down a little bit tighter. Get on the underside here, that way it's nice and neat. good and tight there. Now for this one, now for the back. And just so you can see the progress, this is what it looks like before I put the tarp on it, or canvas, or I guess whatever I really wanted to. Anything that is waterproof. Well, I believe it'll shed some rain. Now I'm going to add a piece right there. This is just an old scrap camo tarp that I had. That blocks the headlights out. It doesn't look too bad, actually. You can also cut these zip ties if you want. And instead you could put parachute cord through there. And I've just burned this on the end and squeezed it with a pair of pliers. But you can drill this out and just use paracord or rope or whatever you would want to use. And you would just feed it through there. You just want to do that for this side and the other 3 zip ties on the front. One thing you can do when you get to where you hunt, you can also use this as a blind. I'm going to check this out with a bucket and check out a bag chair. Now the other thing you can do, you can raise this and lower it. You can also use it as a 4-wheeler cover out in the woods. Not too bad.